Hello. So you'll have to excuse the noise in the background that the mic might be picking up. I'll get back to that later. But first, let's have a quick update on the situation here in Denmark. A few days ago, another emergency law was passed that gives the government authority to further limit the public gatherings of people down to 2 people at a time from the current 10. And certain crimes will have, if it's related anyway to the current situation with Corona, the penalty can be doubled of what it normally is within the law. The same day, the Prime Minister held a press conference, and many people were expecting her to use these new powers to limit the gathering of people, but instead she actually went kind of in the opposite direction. She said that we could start seeing an opening up or a more lenient set of rules regarding the lockdown just after Easter. Now, personally, I'm a bit skeptical about if that's actually going to happen. I kind of doubt it. If we do, it will definitely be baby steps. A few things will be lifted. A few bans will be lifted, but we won't see a complete return to normalcy anytime soon, in my opinion. And I can just give you the numbers, and I'll probably explain why. Currently, we're up to over 3,000 confirmed infected people, and we have passed 100 deaths here in Denmark. So currently, the numbers are very much still rising. Of course, we wouldn't expect to see the curve really flattening until about Easter, was the latest announcement from the health authorities. So we'll have to wait and see, but that's the current situation right now. Now, regarding the noise in the background, that's my 3D printers working away, because I'm contributing to a project that's going on right now in Denmark, where makers of all kinds, primarily makers who has a 3D printer, are joining together to make visors or face shields for anyone who needs it. Primarily hospitals, but also it could be caretakers at nursing homes, for instance. Currently, we are over 1,000 makers here in Denmark contributing to this. The authorities have, right now, we have confirmed orders for 20,000 face shields or visors for some of the regions here in Denmark. And more is expected to come in, as well as there are small individual orders being delivered to whoever requested directly from a 3D printer. So this is what my printers has been doing for the last 4 days now, I think. I can produce somewhere between 20 and 30 of these visors per day, or actually the part that I'm producing is only the holder for the visor. I'll show you what that looks like in a bit, but basically we 3D print the holder part, then you add a transparency layer in an A4 format, so that could be pretty much anything that's see-through in that format. So overhead projector transparencies are very popular for this, but also laminating pieces can be used, and various other stuff. And then in the back, you attach an elastic band, just the normal kind that you use for all sorts of clothes, so that's readily available in a lot of places. my product looks like this. So you see in the front where there's this gap, you put in the visor, and in the back there's a few holes for the elastic band. And once you've assembled all that, you end up with something that looks kind of like this. It's estimated that this group are producing up to 3,000 of these holders per day, and we've been donated a bunch of stuff like the elastic band and the transparencies for making up to, well, currently about 40,000 visors. So I've been contributing to that, and I thought it was a good way to use my 3D printers, which were just sitting idle otherwise right now. Currently, I've been producing for about 4 days, and here's the results. I think there's about 80 in the box, and I'll drop them off. Either I'll drop them off myself here during the weekend. There's pickup points all over the country, but we also have a agreement with the postal service in Denmark. So if you don't have the ability to drop them off in person, then you can actually ship them for free to the various pickup points, which is very nice. Also, a lot of companies has been sponsoring this effort with either donating filament for the 3D printers, donating the transparencies, donating the elastic band, and also you can donate yourself there's a lot of 3D printing stores are offering donation packages for a reduced price, where you can buy a package and then you won't get the package. It'll be sent to this organization who can then distribute it to the 3D printers who need it. So yeah, I have one of these here. So as you saw, we have this slit here in the front, which you can bend to get in the transparency, and once it's back in place, it should pretty much, it's tight enough that it should lock that in place. In the back you have holes where you put the elastic band through. You need about 40 centimeters per face shield, and then you stick it on like that. Yeah, so I thought it was a great initiative, and I've just been running my 3D printers pretty much 24/7. I have plenty of filament in stock, so it's not an issue for me. I don't need to wait for all these donations and stuff. I know there's a lot of people that's run out of filament, but it's really cool to see a lot of different printers are working out there. In the group, there's all sorts of, some have some really big expensive stuff, but a lot of us just have the low end consumer stuff, like in the freeze I have my one hour Maker Select, and so on, and like I said, we are producing something in the order of 3,000 per day right now. And this initiative has really only been going on for a week, so more and more joining every day. And if you live in Denmark, you should definitely join this initiative. Like I said, it's called DK Makers mod Corona. That means DK Makers against Corona, and that's the name of the Facebook group where you join if you want to contribute. If you're not living in Denmark, I've seen there's a lot of these things happening all over the world. So it's not just here in Denmark that we're doing this. There is a lot of projects going on around the world right now. And I think for the home 3D printer, something like this is a lot better than the valves that I've discussed in an earlier video, because the valves interacts with the patient in a way where you really need to ensure reliability, cleanliness, and so on, for it to be safe for the patient, whereas this is something you just wear on your head. So those things are much less of a concern. So this is a very good way to contribute, I think. And I should also mention, this has actually been, we're not just producing these and shipping them off to random places and hoping that they will use them. They have actually been approved by some of the local health authorities around in Denmark, and we're getting approval from more and more hospitals and so on, pretty much each day right now. And again, like I said, we have orders, confirmed orders for 20,000 of these right now, and more expected to come. Also, a lot of other businesses who have the ability to do injection molding or laser cutting, and stuff of that nature have switched to producing either something like this or various other lab supplies for testing for corona in recent days, which is it's great to see everybody is helping out, and it's keeping some businesses running who would otherwise not really have any orders right now because everything's shut down and there's not new orders coming in. And even the orders they have, the company that they deliver to, they might not even be able to pay because they're shut down right now. They don't have any revenue. So yeah, that's my current updates. Check this out, or rather check this out. If you have a 3D printer, you can definitely help out, even if you can only produce 5 a day or whatever. It's not a problem. Every little bit helps. This is not about you being able to produce thousands yourself. It's about everybody contributing, and once we add up those numbers, it can make a really big difference. So remember to wash your hands and keep your distance. Take care out there.